shine on the big stage with your backs against the wall.
Put a 1 in the chat if you think the T-Wolves win the championship right here. Press 2 if we're going to a game 5. And the Sixers will take the tip. They'll have it first. Radiant's got to play a good game at some point in this series. He is due. Here is a 3. Bang, bang!
They are locked and focused. I mean, we know Nudini knows that he's up to a tall order. He's been in a tall order 4 games so far into this series. I mean, he's going to have to try to replicate, and what will they try to throw at him here in this game? Perfect.
Great defense. They bumped him. Long rebound, and they get it. And there's a reach on Turnip. You just need Radiant one time to come through. And he cannot have a turnover game like he had last time.
See, that's where they have to be careful too. I mean, the only way you're going to be able to rotate effectively is if he goes right, Radiant has to drop. Nudini has to make a bullet towards that corner and try to bait Turnip into a shot.
Here's Radiant. Gets to the open space. Can't make the jumper. T-Wolves still looking for their first bucket of the game. Minute gone by. Nudini. He's got to be sweating right now. And they feed it down low to Feast. Let's check it with Alex.
Yeah, sorry, Scott. It's really loud down here, especially with the vuvuzela we got going. But anyway, I spoke to Justin Butler, T-Wolves head coach, before this game. I asked him what their strategy was. He said, we're watching the same show that you guys are. We know who's unnerved. We know who's losing their cool right now. So we plan on attacking those guys specifically and putting more pressure on them. So look for them to specifically target ZDS and Breadwinner. Back to you.
All right. Thank you so much. Yeah, I know. We've been living in that sound throughout the evening. These T-Wolf fans have not gone away. Here's Bear. Trailing by 3, but it's early. Long way to go in this one. A deciding game 4. T-Wolves, if they win, they'll be holding the trophy. Jay Money with a 3, and Steeds will get the board. And they'll bring it up. They had a tough time advancing the basketball there in game 3. Those turnovers pretty much cost them. Radiant now. It's taking them so long to get into their offensive set.
And that time there, it looked like Breadwinner wanted to be aggressive, probably trying to go for the hop step again, but decided to just pull it back. I mean, 14 seconds, you got plenty of time to work it. But again, it almost seems like they set the limit for turn up. It's like, hey, you get 2 fouls to burn in the first quarter. Use them wisely. And he has been reaching at the right times to be able to try to almost get a steal, but it hasn't been going his way.
Here's JoJo. Up ahead to Feast. Feast will take the corner shot, and it's good. Tied at 5.
This is these bullet passes that we talk about, this time coming from Dr. JoJo. Feast has enough time to just sit there, pause. He even could have sat there for another extra 3 seconds if he really wanted to.
Steez and 1. Able to answer back, maybe, with the old-fashioned 3-point play.
Great extra pass, and you just see, what called on Bear there, just trying to go in for the reach. So you're either trying to get the pluck, maybe trying to knock the ball loose, or just stop the dunk as a whole. So then he has to go to the line to shoot to earn him.
Can't convert, but they lead by 2. They haven't had many leads this series. Here's Bear. He has yet to score. This is probably the longest he's gone without scoring in the series. 3-minute drought for Bear. He's been sensational. Jay Money. Shot clock running down. He's got to put it up. And there's Bear. Excuse me, Bread with the rebound. Bread, Bear. I mean, there's similar letters going on there. It's late. Radiant. Well, give it to Steez. A quick 6 points for Steez and 0 turnovers. That's the key so far in this game.
Coming here from both sides, it's just been better defense played. I mean, everything's just been a lot of hands up, no steals to even be registered so far in the game.
Here's Bear now. Trying to close out Philly, and a great pass down to JoJo. He gets his first hoop.
Seeing a lot of off-ball action. JoJo hits the elbow, slips straight on in down low. Bear does an excellent job of dissecting the defense and being able to get that pass to thread through.
Radiant just gets it across the timeline. Working against Turnip, who's been fantastic here in the playoffs. Feast, nice job helping out. Here's Bread now. Shot clock running down. Radiant getting to the free throw line, gives it off to ZDS. He's got to force it up, well short. It's a 3-on-2 break, and Turnip will get an easy one. We're tied at 9. Timeout, Philly.
See him putting the pressure on. Feast gets it, the outlet to Bear. Waiting for Radiant to try to make his move. You see him start to slow down there at the 3 like he was going to end up pulling a shot, and it's smart by Radiant. You don't want to give up a 3 in that scenario because you know the crowd would erupt even more than they already are.
Well, Philly got out to a hot start, but the T-Wolves have answered back. Bear still yet to score, but he does have 3 assists in the game. Radiant with 3 points, 2 assists. So when you look at the box score, Steez actually leads all scorers with 6.
Getting Feast involved has been key. JoJo feeding a lot into the big men. And if your point guard's not going to score, you're always your go-to and orchestrating really any sort of half-court offense. 4 and a 5. They're the ones that are always moving around for this team. You even look over towards J Money as well. And they've given him 2 opportunities. Hasn't been able to knock down. Granted, he did have one when the shot clock was winding up, so just to chuck something up. But this is something that makes this T-Wolves team so great that Bear doesn't even have to score in some games for them to at least keep it close. But the question is, can you keep that up for quarters 1 through 4 and expect to win a game?
360 on the line here. $720,000 prize pool. It's on top of their salaries and their tournament winnings, and both these teams have done well in the tournaments this year. Of course, with the 76ers winning the tip-off tournament to start the season for the 2nd year in a row. They are the tip-off champion. There's been no other. Here's Bear. Houdini is working its butt off right now, I can tell you that. JoJo steps into the mid-range and off the back of the rim. Steez now. We'll hand it off to Radiant. They'll get in the half-court set. CDS will pull the trigger. Long rebound, and JoJo able to box out Bread and Sky for the board.
It seems like they've, I wouldn't say necessarily cracked the code, but the defense, for some reason, when they're playing just on the away, it's different. They're able to get stops on Bear more often than they did the entire game when they play on the home side. I don't know what that is. I mean, they're not playing the same type of defense that they were in that previous game, which is very confusing.
Final seconds here of the first. They're going to hold it for the final shot. They will have the lead going in, and it's an air ball. Back to the start of the second quarter, 11-9, 76ers, and the T-Wolves 0 turnovers in the ballgame. Let's take the opportunity to check in with Jeff Eisenband.
Yeah, hey guys, I'm down here with Hami, who's got the flag and everything rocking, a fixture of the NBA 2K League community, and why the T-Wolves?
Man, look, this best team in the league, best player in the league right here, best in the world. Best in the world, you see the sign, best in the world, baby beast.
I know you're close with Breadwinner though too, Breadwinner and Bear. Why Bear, not Breadwinner?
Because they the favorite. The Sixers was the favorite, we going with the underdog, and we going my dog, man.
And how are you getting this crowd pumped up out here?
Listen, they delayed us 4 hours, we stayed here, we got something to eat, we came back, and everybody's here. Mama Bear, Sister Bear, we got John, we got Summers, with the best in the world. You see the shirt? Best in the world. Come show me the shirt, baby. I'm put the flag down, big guy. Look, best in the world. Best in the world. Real rookie of the year. Real rookie of the year.
All right, Hami, get them pumped, baby. The T-Wolves are trying to finish things out right now, guys.
It's wild over there. Be careful, Jeff. And as you're talking down there, the T-Wolves regain the lead. And, I think a lot of folks, they just weren't talking a lot about Bear being Rookie of the Year. And Reezy and BP getting a lot of the attention. And here's Radiant, just got to force it up. Steez, only Steez would make a 3 like that. Here's Bread now. They have an opportunity. They certainly have played a lot more composed. And Feast will block the 3. ZDS tracking back. He didn't have to throw that. I think he thought maybe he was going to save it from a backcourt, but it was deflected by Feast. Another mental mistake for the 76ers.
Either way for him, it's going to end up being a turnover just because the shot clock was sitting at 2. So even if he grabbed it, you're going to get a turnover there and maybe force him on the inbound. He can try to make something happen like that, but...
And here's Feast. Wide open midi. He's got 7, a quiet 7. Look at that again.
Huge block, coming right back down the other way. Takes a step inside, hits the mid-range jumper.
Well, it's the Feast show. Even though Steez is leading all scorers with 8, he's 4 of 4 from the field, while his point guard is struggling, just 2 of 8. At some point, Radiant's got to go off, right? I mean, this is the guy that was in MVP discussions, averaging 20 points a game.
He needs to.
By the way, that ZDS pass was the first turnover of the game. Radiant. And they'll turn it over. And nearly gave it back, and now we got a foul, and that was almost a shooting foul. We've seen some wild stuff. (16-13). Here's Bear. Over to Jay Money. And Steez will bring it down. Up to Brad, and Brad will use the window. Off the glass and good. Brad gets his first bucket.
So he didn't have an option here because Jay Money was reading the lane, and JoJo, I mean, you could even argue that should have probably been a tip pass there when the ended up going straight down into the paint.
16-15. Jay Money gives it to Bear the Beast, and it's taken away by Nutini. 3-on-2 break, and we got a foul. That'll be 4 on Turnip. That's something we're gonna have to watch. 4 already here in the first half.
Well, anytime a guy like Radiant sees 4 fouls, you almost activate his trap card. It seems like he's ready to just rock and roll. That's why he's going to that 5 out.
17-16. A lot of folks didn't hang around for the delay, but those that have stuck around have seen a good one.
See, I know it's still so early in the game when we're talking about the fouls, but I mean, that could be a potential where they could start to run away with it because of those 4 fouls. You can only rely on a bump. I don't know how much more you're going to see Radiant go into a 5-out set, but when you know that somebody can't sit there and you can just dribble in front of their face, it's almost like a mental game, like knowing you can't press square. You literally could do nothing. And Turnip's cold now too, so that lowers his speed.
Uh-oh. This might be the time for Radiant. We've been waiting for Radiant time. You heard of Mama time. And there's Steez. Back out to Radiant for 3. Splash!
It's like a David versus Goliath when you're looking at the crowd. You got about 10 76ers fans against an army of T-Wolves gaming across the way.
Yeah, the ratio is about 7-1. T-Wolves, and it wasn't that way earlier. I mean, it was 50-50 in the building. Bear, bottom of the net. He's starting to come on here in the second quarter. He's got 7.
Yeah, he was held scoreless going into the second quarter, so 7 points for him quickly.
Radiant against Turnip. That's the matchup right now. Turnip with 4. He's on a cold ring. It's like he's a statue. Nudini! Brad gets a long rebound. Coming up a minute to go here in the second. Tied at 20 apiece. And Radiant, they got to get out of the lane. And Steez right there to get the board. Play fake, no!
You got to get a score here. It's just for momentum, missing shots.
And then Radiant sets back in a quiet green as he tickles the net.
Hey, we called upon Radiant. We said, you're an MVP candidate for a reason. You have to step up in these type of scenarios, and he has quickly started to turn things around, doing a lot of damage from behind the arc for his team.
Steez has been huge. 10 points, 7 rebounds here in this first half. Radiant now with 11. Bear changing directions, finds Turnip on a cold ring. Are you kidding me? Tied at 23.
Was trying to count the bumps there from Dini, ended up getting one. Bear knew that with him just running around so much, that was taking down his stamina quite a bit.
And there's a foul. That'll be the first on Breadwinner. Third turnover. It's crazy how well the T-Wolves take care of the basketball. Only one turnover in this game so far. And that's why they're in it. It feels like Philly's got all the momentum, and they had to call timeout. That was maybe going to be over and back. And so the T-Wolves will burn one here with 15 seconds to go. Let's listen in.
Fucking full bars. I'm due. All right. Oh my go, Fifi, free aside with JoJo.
Hey, don't, on offensive rebounds, just stay on your man. Don't crash down. Like, we can't give up easy threes off of their rebounds. Okay, we're doing a good job of that. Don't feel like you have to go down. You're not going to get the board anyways.
Yeah, on offense, Fifi with you, JoJo.
Okay.
On my go, we're going to go about 6.
Okay.
Get back on defense. Get back on defense.
Whoever in the left corner, run into your dude. Run into your dude.
Chris needs to be in my corner.
Huh?
Can you be in my corner? Go to the left corner of this guy.
Your right corner, please.
I want to shoot on that left side. But, yeah, radio play off.
Yeah. Last shot.
You'll respect the cut.
Try to go at like 5, bro.
Okay.
All right, go,
Make it late.
All right.
Hey, we're in the danger zone here.
There's a little listen in to the T-Wolves, their coach Justin Butler. And you heard it. Let's see if it works. Bear trying to get open here for the inbounds pass. They will get it in. Took a long time. And they'll hold it for the final shot. Here's Bear. He's going to be going left. He will. And there's JoJo. Worked to perfection. It wasn't a 3, but it does give them the lead.
And at that point, that's all they were hoping for. They just wanted any type of score. And we heard in the timeout, the play was called, the Fifi was set, and they're able to get a score out of it, and it gives them the lead going to the second half.
We're going right into the second half right now.
All right, appreciate it, gentlemen. 25-23. At the start of the third, and Bear, coast to coast, the man with the most. He's got 9. The lead is now 4. Had a rough start to the ball game. 0 points in the first quarter, but he's turned it on since then. And now it's time for Philly to answer. Their backs are against the wall. T-Wolves lead 2-1 in the series. And stays with a jam.
And we got to remind everybody as well, Turnup's sitting at 4 fouls. So you're not seeing him really go to the 5-out set just yet, at least off to the start. You have to remember he was cold, so everything is dropped. He's just so much faster, so you're able to break him down with ease.
And there's Bear getting into the paint and catches Nudini jumping, and he'll just lay it in. 11 points now.
See, those are the ones where, I mean, if you're a coach or a player,
They drive you crazy.
That's where you end up getting frustrated and you have to say something. I mean, there are some scenarios when you get the Euro step, it's like it's impossible to get back and play defense. You're kind of just sitting there. It's like, okay, it went their way. Those situations where you have a chance to wall up the person going up with it, and you would end up forcing a miss.
Nudini, take the 3, he makes up for it. That's his first score of the game.
And that's back-to-back opportunities, the exact same thing to when he ends up dribble driving, he just throws that pass. If Bear steps off just a little bit, I mean, you're right there. I don't know. I mean, he didn't get a good release on the jumper, but that could have been lightly contested from Bear.
Bear will back it out. 8 on the shot clock. They lead by 1. 4:22 to go here in the third. Scott Cole-Turk along with you. And Turnip's just got to force that up, and he makes it.
There's not much better defense you can play in that scenario. Flick up shot ends up dropping in. Say the 76ers, they're very familiar with those type of shots.
Oh yeah. Steez had the best one of the year on a pure glass, no doubt, hitting a toss-up 3. 31-28. T-Wolves with an opportunity to increase the lead here. I don't know if it's set in, but they're under 10 minutes away from maybe winning the championship. Playmaker badge, and he'll hit the free throw line jumper. Bear now has 13.
Man, I can only imagine how much confidence they're building up to this. Bear gets his badge, pops it straight away, gets a blow by on Dini. Free throw line jumper, nothing but net. I mean, it has to be setting in at some point. It's still, the game is so close, but I feel like it's just had T-Wolves gaming like all over it right from since we came back from the delay after the dominant performance just in that last game in game 3 and then transitioning over to this one. So the Sixers haven't shown you any sort of faith to be like, okay, they're going to come back in this series. They're going to come back and take a big lead in this game.
Well, our two Titans, Radiant and Bear, trading buckets. They both got 13 now. 3-point game. Bear with a badge. Pray for Nudini. Trying to sauce him up. Brett doing a nice job helping, and Bear pulls the 3. Chance for Philly to tie. Under 3 minutes to go now in the third. And now Radiant's got his badge. And he will crab his way to the free throw line.
I feel like we're watching a Rocky movie, and these point guards currently are just trading blows back and forth, but it's hard to see who Balboa actually is.
Feast, if he dies, he dies, and that 3 does not fall. Remember earlier we had the 76ers fans with the big golden gloves, Rocky motif. Right now it's his badge on fire, not his heart. And Radiant says it's green. It's a quick green, and it's good, and now they got the lead.
Second half, he's stepping up. He's being a lot more aggressive, and that's the reason for the takeover. Just going straight at turn up, getting some walkbacks, mixing it up, giving him a different look. Now Bears has gone away, but it's still a battle with the PGs. Finally, they start to mix up some sort of coordination in the plays.
J Money off the mark, and they get another chance. And J Money this time will deliver. Back and forth they go.
Okay, Turner might end up with 1 rebound per game, but it's always an offensive rebound.
And it's huge.
And it's always leading to a scoring opportunity off of his pass.
Radiant's badge will fade away. They trail by 1 under 90 seconds to go now in the third. This fourth quarter is going to be bananas. Shot clock running down. Radiant stops, pops.
Green dat.
He's got 19. He has showed up finally.
You see, Steves are actually about to get slapped with a 3 seconds, so I think Radiant was just under pressure. He's like, I got to force something up, and he actually ended up getting a very good look out of it. And that's a good foul there, too. Reset it. Yes, that is your one to burn, but you would rather, instead of giving them guaranteed buckets when you're trading back and forth, foul, make it work off the inbounds, so Nogini can at least get back onto Bear. They just have to remember, hey, we can't go for any reach at this point.
Bear runs Nudini into a screen. Feast trying to set it again. Now they're working against the shot clock. They get it down to Feast, and he gets the shot off, and it's good.
See, that's just where you have to have the awareness. You bumped Bear around 2 times, and they were big bumps. His stamina was drained. Sag off of him. Start playing it towards a paint because he's not going to hit a jump shot. You physically can never get the Gerbies. You can fill the bar up, but you'll always end up getting the long arms because you're probably blinking from your stamina bar.
Steves back over to Radiant. There's a cutting ZDS to the elbow. How many lead changes have we had here in the third?
Hey, ever since it just being like this, it's just over and over and over again.
This is how we thought the series would go. 38-37. That's all kind of room for Bear. And if you're Nudini, you just got to let that play go. He got way out of position.
I mean, even the angle, if he maybe would have jumped a little bit earlier and tightened up the angle, probably could have ended up getting a contest on it, but still tough. This is a big, big possession right here for 76ers GC.
Radiant will hold it. Remember, Turnup's got 4 fouls. Takes the 3, and they can't get the rebound, and the T-Wolves are going to have the lead, and it's away from maybe being the champion in just their first year.
I mean, you can't write this stuff. The similarity between the T-Wolves run and the Knicks run, the biggest difference is the T-Wolves didn't need the ticket. But the same thing between both of these teams is that they caught fire at the perfect time. And the crazy part about it is the longevity of the run that T-Wolves Gaming went on this regular season to make this all possible.
They won 12 straight. They've won like 13 of their last 15 games. It's crazy. And they turn it over. Couldn't have the turnover, and they give it away, and Feast gets an easy one. 2-possession game.
And you got to see, I mean, they got to stop the bleeding, and it looked like Nudini was going to get a steal right there, but Bears character ends up picking it up and gets it right back.
And they missed the jam. Remember, Feast spent season 1 with this team. Nudini bottoms just a 2. His foot was on the line.
If y'all want aggressive Dini, you need him to come out right now here on the 4th, because Dini has not been that aggressive this series.
Feast, as I was saying, he was in the starting 5 for Philly last year. T-Wolves picked him up in the expansion draft. And boy, was that a smart move. They got 1 out of 2 right. And Jay Money gets his shot blocked and then gets it back. Everybody else was leaking out. And it cost him a bucket.
I mean, everybody. I mean, look at the block right here. Radiant's already gone. I mean, it's hard to argue who it should have been. Should have been Radiant just staying there to pick up the ball. Should have Steez just stayed and then grabbed it and tried to throw the outlet pass to Radiant.
4-point game, and they turn it over almost. Steez hits the deck. And they will call timeout just to be safe. Feels like every possession is huge right now, Dirk.
It is crowded. I mean, it's hard to credit. Obviously, the guys are on the floor. They're doing their thing. They're hooping. They're playing. But can you imagine having a support system like this behind you throughout the entire game?
Here's the point guards, Dirk. They've come to play. Radiant with 19 points. Bear with 16. And they got 4:23 left to try to continue their season, or for Bear's sake, win the whole thing. I guess they figured it out.
They definitely did. And again, they figured it out at the right time. They figured out a way to make it work with every single player on the floor. And you can just see here, going back and forth, Brady has to put up a lot more of the shot attempts, assists going in favor of Bear. And the box score shows it, finding Feast, finding JoJo, finding Turnup. Again, Turnup just getting right there. I mean, we've seen a lot throughout the playoffs where Turnup is getting close to those 20-point games. He's reaching double digits. Hasn't had to do that so much in the finals.
Radiant on the left, Bear the Beast on the right. They are literally head-to-head. 4-point game. T-Wolves with the lead. And another deflection. Then Bear hits the ground. And we got a foul down low, and it's actually going to be over the back on Feast. So that was a wild possession. .4:15 to go. Radiant with a quick green. 1-point game.
And we always talk about fourth quarters. I feel like just 3-point attempts. I mean, you start making some of these, that's where you can start to blow some things open. There we go. Finally some communication between ZDS and Ugini. Went to get the switch. But now here's your situation. Bear has the ISO on ZDS. It's going to be hard for him to try to keep up. That's where the help needs to come.
Bear back of the rim. Chance to take the lead. And we got a foul on Jay Money. That'll be his first, team's second. Top lock in the Twitch chat. This is not a replay. We are live here in game 4. T-Wolves trying to close it out. Radiant. Over to Breadwinner. Are you kidding me? Brad gives him the lead.
And what faith do you have to have? A dot catches JoJo dropping down that time. Breadwinner knocks it down. Has actually shot great from the corner here in this final series.
Timeout T-Wolves with 3:22 to go. And they're now trailing by 2.
My heart's racing. I haven't had this much of a rush, I feel like, since this year. When you're looking at matchups, Wizards versus Mavs, the electric energy that was here in the arena. You look at the turn, you look at the ticket, all the great matchups that we saw. But I mean, this has been so back and forth.
It's been a wild day, hasn't it?
It has game winner written all over this entire game. I've had a lot of sugar today, Scott. I don't know if I'll survive.
360 grand going to the winning team. They've already won 120 for just showing up in the building tonight. But you don't want to be the runner-up. You want to be the champ. You want to hold those trophies. You want to get those rings. And, of course, get the bragging rights. What a day it has been in the NBA 2K League. This is what it's all about.
You want that $240,000 added on to your runner-up just by showing up here, and that's what the winner ends up getting. Oh. You're going to buckle in.
It's not mom spaghetti time yet, but it's getting there. Here's Bear. Working against Nudini. Goes for a bit of a reach. You can't reach, you might get taught. And there is Breadwinner, comes up with a huge steal.
And this honestly might end up being the most separation that we've seen in this game if they get a score right here.
Woo, baby, Radiant! And one! He's got 24, his most points of the series.
Look at this, Euro step all the way through. 2 players jump, and that's a way to hype up a crowd. Again, we said you're down in numbers. That free throw is still hurt. I don't care. Everybody on the team runs it. Nobody makes free throws. Apart from Didi, but it's a lock.
Radiant can't convert the three-point play, but they lead by 4.
Giving up 2s at this point.
Every point is huge. You can't give up a 3. Anything but the 3.
I'm allowing Bear to get.
Oh, goodness.
And they just gave. Oh, my God.
Back of the rim, no good. And then he gets his own rebound. What the what? 2:30 to go. Backdoor cut by Feast. It's a 2-point game.
See, I know it's a backdoor, but we're saying you need to give up a 2 there. I mean, they're lucky J Money didn't end up just pulling that one straight away, but that's a great call by Feast to just slip right behind there on the back door of Steez. And he said 2 points, but they're in the driver's seat. You can trade blows from here on out if you're 76ers GC.
Coming up on 2 minutes to go left in their season. And there's a foul by J Money. That'll be his second. They're just down to 1 foul to give.
That's what's smart about it, too, is that they were able to get to the reset. I mean, you're getting down close to that 2-minute mark regardless. If he got down to the 2-minute mark and then reached for that to try to go for the reset, they would be in the bonus at this stage in the game, which is not what you want. Remember, Turnup has 4. He can maybe try to burn one here towards the end of this game.
ZDS has got to put up the 3, and he'll hit it! ZDS only 5 points, but that 3 was huge.
He was 0 for 2. That makes it 1 for 3. Now you're really in territory of, I'm not giving up a 3. Switch everything. Force Bear inside. ZDS just has to play high here.
Here's Bear. Gets into the paint, and his shot's blocked. And he steps on the baseline. JoJo had it, and it's a turnover. 92 seconds to go.
Hope we got EMS on standby.
51-46. They got to get this ball up. Both teams with 2 timeouts. Here's Steez. He will cross the timeline.
And this is where it helps is having such a good coach. You know it's, hey, this is burn clock time. This is what we need to do. We're trying to work it out so much. And going to the 5-out again for Radiant.
Radiant over to ZDS. And it's 3 in the key? Yikes. Steve's down there with his Coleman stove and everything, camping out.
That's 3 times in the span of 2 games. That the 2 in the previous game and then that one right there.
Same situation, can't give up a 3.
If you give up a 3, I mean, it's momentum going their way, and there's no question about it.
Backcourt violation. Nudini knocked it away, but when he picked it up, he was standing on the half-court line. Unbelievable. Game 4, we might be headed to a deciding Game 5 here in New York City, but we still got 47 seconds to go. Radiant working against Turnup. Steez with a jam! It's a 3-possession game.
Normal 2 crossover, creates some space straight in down low that draws Feast out of the paint. Just enough time to get the ball down to Steez to try to make the play.
That normal 2 cheese. 30 seconds to go. Bear working against Houdini. No 3s. That's what you're thinking if you're Philly. And they give one up and Bear can't hit. JoJo with a rebound. They're trying to reset. Time becoming a factor. Bear will lay it in, and this one's going to go to a Game 5. 76ers have come back and forced the final game. Can you believe it, Dirk?
No. We were just saying that we're in a stage to where, I mean, there's only 4 seconds. It'd be really tough to make anything happen, but like,
no, it's over. When I say the games are over, they're over.
Well, we were sitting there saying that The 76ers showed us nothing in that game to like, okay, they're going to cruise. They're going to start to build up a lead. They took the lead by 1. Then they went in cruise control. 15-6 in quarter number 4. And it is a game 5. Can you believe it?
Well, we haven't hit midnight yet, but we will. Game 5 will probably start exactly at midnight Eastern time. It's time to tell your friends.